You can learn how simple shifts in your habits can lead to profound results in the way that you feel and in the way that you look. A few weeks ago, I did a video on 9 habits that you can embrace to help you lower and maintain a healthy blood pressure. And today we're going to be talking about 9 foods that you should be including in your diet to help you lower your blood pressure right away. So what is high blood pressure exactly? So we all know this word, hypertension, we know high blood pressure, but do you know what that actually means? Well, you have blood volume, and when you have too much blood pressing against the arterial walls, your pressure goes up. Now, many things can make that happen. You can have an increased blood volume from eating too much sodium, which retains fluid in your body, eating too much sugar, which creates too much fluid in your body, or from narrowing of the arteries due to smoking or plaque buildup in the system. So many things can lead to high blood pressure, but essentially it's a narrow passageway that blood is trying to pump itself through, and when the passageway is too narrow or the blood volume is too high, it can increase your blood pressure. It is estimated that over 1 billion people globally have high blood pressure. That's a lot of people. It's an enormous burden on the economy. It's an enormous burden on the system. It can predispose people to heart disease, strokes, diabetes, and kidney disease. Whole host of issues, and this is again a very preventable illness or condition. So you want to go back to the other video, watch that video, check out the 9 habits, and then come back here and you can look at the foods that you should be including in your diet to help you manage your blood pressure right away. First, it should be useful to find out what your blood pressure is so that you know where you're at, but no matter what your blood pressure is, even if you have low blood pressure, even if you have normal blood pressure, you would benefit in many, many ways from including these foods in your diet. Like I said in the other video, embracing a whole foods diet, foods as they exist in nature, is right away one of the best things that you can do. So anything that's in the plant-based world is going to be helpful. These foods that we're going to go over specifically are more specifically useful because they're concentrated in certain nutrients in the body that can be helpful to help you manage your blood pressure. So let's go through them now. Food number 1, and this shows up in so many of my videos, actually so many of these foods show up in so many of my videos, but it's specifically good for your blood pressure, and that is kale. And the reason that kale is so good is because not only does it contain calcium, which calcium has been shown to lower blood pressure, it's also a great source of magnesium. Additionally, it's a good source of B vitamins, so the nutrients in kale can not only lower your blood pressure, but it can also help to lower your homocysteine levels, which is a different independent risk factor for heart disease. I also have a video on that, so you can check that as well. But including kale in your diet would be suggestion number 1. And you can, if you need tips on how to use kale in your diet, I have a great video on a kale pesto that you can refer to, which would include another food in this category. So check out the kale pesto recipe, or there's a whole bunch of recipes online for kale that you can make salads from. So having kale would be suggestion number 1. Suggestion number 2, I actually ate this prop. They're avocados. I had them for the video and then I completely forgot, and I ate one last night, so I don't have the prop, but you know what an avocado looks like. And avocados are great because they contain potassium. And potassium has an inverse relationship with sodium. So too much sodium in your body can deplete potassium. So you want to raise your potassium level in order to lower your sodium level. So eating avocados are a great way to make that happen. Additionally, avocados are a great source of monounsaturated fats, which is a big part of the Mediterranean diet that has been shown to help manage cardiovascular disease. And if that were not enough, avocados are a good source of glutathione, which is the master antioxidant in the body, which can help to protect you against a whole host of other issues, bacterial problems, immune problems that can also contribute to heart disease. So including avocados in your diet pretty regularly are suggestion number 2. Suggestion number 3 is including coconut water into your diet. So I have here a full coconut, and as you know, if you've watched my videos, I like to make coconut yogurt from this. But coconut water has, again, lots of potassium in it. So unless you're really overdoing the sodium and eating lots and lots of junk food, if you're just taking in too much sodium or your body is retaining too much sodium, balancing that out with adequate amounts of potassium is a really good way to lower that sodium level in your body. So drinking coconut water would be suggestion number 3. Another great source of potassium, a really great source of potassium, would be eating potatoes or sweet potatoes. Both are excellent sources, including the skin, so you want to eat the skin as well. Sweet potatoes I think are a little bit better because they have magnesium, they have a bunch of other minerals, plus they have those great antioxidants that give it that orange or red color, which again, those antioxidants can prevent plaque buildup in the arterial wall, so that would be great as well. The only people that need to navigate how much of this that they take into their diet are diabetics, because they are a carbohydrate that can affect blood sugar, so do manage that. But if you have no problems with your blood sugar, including potatoes in your diet 3 times a week or so, especially sweet potatoes, would be suggestion number 4. Suggestion number 5, having tomatoes in your diet, because not only are they a great source of potassium, but they're also a great source of lycopene, and lycopene is an antioxidant that again has been helpful in protecting you against cardiovascular disease. So I would slice up some tomatoes and put it in your salads. You could also make soups out of them. Lots of ways to eat tomatoes. If you cook them, they're much better that way. You release more lycopene that way. And if you don't like cooked tomatoes for whatever reason, then you can just slice them up and put a little bit of olive oil on it, and that would yield that same benefit with extracting the lycopene from the tomatoes. So eating tomatoes would be suggestion number 5. Suggestion number 6 are omega-3 essential fatty acids. So salmon often shows up in my videos. So salmon, including salmon in your diet 3 times a week, making sure that it's wild Alaskan salmon would be great. And including flax in your diet every single day would be another thing that you could do to get those omega-3 essential fats in your diet. They have been shown to help with blood flow, thin blood, and all of that can help to lower your blood pressure. So including that in your diet on a regular basis would be suggestion number 5. Suggestion number 7 is including a handful of nuts into your diet every single day. So nuts are a great source of magnesium, and magnesium helps to relax smooth muscle, and it helps to lower your blood pressure. So they also are a great source of vitamin E, which helps again to protect with plaque buildup. And they're a great source of essential fatty acids. So including a handful of nuts in your diet, whether it's walnuts, almonds, cashews, whatever, would be suggestion number 7. Suggestion number 8 is including garlic in your diet. So about 4 cloves of garlic a day has been shown to help lower blood pressure because of its blood thinning properties. You have to be careful if you're taking any blood thinning medication like Coumadin, but if that is not an issue, including garlic in your diet every day would be great. And it also helps with bacterial infections in your body, so it boosts immune function. It has cancer fighting properties. So there's a whole bunch of benefits to including garlic, but it does help to lower your blood pressure. So that would be suggestion number 8. Suggestion number 9 are beets, and beets contain lots of nitrates, which convert in the body to nitric oxide. And what nitric oxide does, it helps to vasodilate your blood vessels, so it helps to open them up and helps with blood flow because it relaxes a smooth muscle in your cardiovascular system. So including beets in your diet can lower your blood pressure pretty quickly. So I would say just roast them up, chop them up, throw them into a salad. I wouldn't necessarily do concentrated amounts of beets like in a juice or in a soup, because that does contain a lot of sugar when you press out the fiber in there and you turn it into something liquidy. But just chopping some up and putting them into soups would be, salads would be amazing, and including beets in your diet would be suggestion number 9. And then I've got a bonus food that is kind of hard to find, and it's also an acquired taste, and that is something called natto, N-A-T-T-O, and it's a fermented soybean paste that contains a lot of vitamin K2, and vitamin K2 has been shown to have an amazing benefit on the cardiovascular system. Not only does it lower blood pressure, but it's also been shown to actively clean out the arteries from calcium deposits and plaque buildup. So including natto in your diet would be amazing. You'd have to get it at an Asian supermarket, and again, it is an acquired taste. Not everybody would like it. And do look at the ingredients if you want to try this. Make sure that this has no added sugar. Sometimes they do add sugar to it to make it more palatable. You want one without sugar in it, but again, it's available in most Asian markets. Other sources of K2 would be egg yolks and some beef and chicken. However, I wouldn't necessarily recommend eating lots of those foods to get K2. It's just not worth the potential detrimental effects of eating too much protein to get that amount of K2 out of it. So I would try to find the natto. If not, what you can do, if cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure is an issue for you, is to talk to your doctor about supplementing K2. But again, absolutely do not supplement anything without discussing it with your healthcare practitioner. So again, these foods kind of show up all the time in my videos. So really, these are concentrated for high blood pressure, but as I go through this list, these can be beneficial across the board. This is really good for your thyroid function. This is really good to help prevent cancer. These are really good for prostate cancer. This is really good for helping you protect against breast cancer. Food in its natural state has amazing health properties, and every time you eat a delicious homemade whole foods meal, you are doing something amazing to contribute to your overall health and well-being across the board. When we deal with modern medicine, what we're essentially doing is we're isolating a symptom and we're trying to knock it out through a medication usually, without addressing the side effects of that medication and the potential issue of not managing the disease from a core level. Something is causing that problem. If you can take it out from the roots, you're going to improve the system across the board. So please embrace a whole foods diet. It's the very first thing that you could do to manage your health. So I'd love to hear from you. How often do these foods show up in your diet, and what's your blood pressure? Have you ever been diagnosed with high blood pressure before, and did your doctor let you off with a warning that you took seriously and you changed your diet to create an effect so that you would not have to go on medication? I'd love to hear that specific feedback so that you can inspire other people to take charge of their blood pressure and manage this very, very manageable condition. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the link below and it'll bring you right over to the blog, but please leave your comments there. It's much easier for me to get back to you through the blog. So there's another video that you can add to your repertoire to help move you closer to your health goals. If you like tips like this and you're looking for more of them, come on over to barbaramendeznutrition.com and please sign up for the mailing list there. Once you do, you will automatically receive an email from me every Monday with either a written or a video blog with a recipe or some nutritional tip or suggestion to help move you along on your path to health. If you